You're listening to Today's World. I'm your host, Laurie Sanders, and with me in studio on this, first of the year is Camber Hill. He's a lifestyle coach. He's also the owner of thinkfabulous.com, entrepreneur, businessman, and we're talking about reinventing yourself for the new year, 2011, and we're talking about nutrition. And we've discussed about putting green smoothies into your life and really kind of taking a look at your diet and seeing how you can take away some of the poor habits and supplement them with something at least 4 times. We're talking 4 times a week and 16 ounces. So, and, to move on to point number 2, with, how are we going to reinvent ourselves for the new year so we can be better citizens, better companions, better workers, everything.
Right. In doing this, Laurie, one of the things that adds to life, because now let's just say we've got nutrition going on. We've got nutrition going on. Things are getting better. And for those who are looking to get things better, for people looking for a new job or looking for a new way, maybe the way they've been doing things isn't stimulating, and or maybe there are so many people, Laurie, who are trying to heal. They just want to get back to normal. This nutrition is the way to get there. In addition to this vibrant new component is meditation. Kindness is one of the greatest loves we can do. Being kind, thinking kind thoughts. The kinder I am to myself, the kinder I will be to you, Laurie. The kinder I am when I run into somebody who's uptight and off-center, the better I am able to be a magnificent gentleman. And magnificence for ladies and for gentlemen comes through kindness. Kindness and right thought comes from meditation. Meditation is the way to listen to the higher self. It has been often categorized where praying in many different cultures is talking to your higher beings. Meditation is listening to them. That's one way to kind of differentiate when the mind is going. A lot of Buddhists consider most of our minds, when my mind is going crazy, Laurie, I call it a monkey mind. Very Buddhist call on that sort of thing, because your mind, when you start thinking a thought, the starts to think, and that thought starts to think. And that's just like a monkey in the jungle, jumping from branch to branch. Meditation is a practice of discipline in quieting the mind. Laurie, I have people say, I just can't get quiet enough to meditate. Well, son of a gun, that's why you're meditating, to learn to get quiet. So you just need, Laurie, I recommend getting a kitchen timer and sitting down for 20 minutes. And you set your timer so that you know there's nothing else you need to do right now. You just need to sit down and be still. You can keep it as simple as just getting into your breath, counting 4 counts for breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Most of the time when I start my count, I don't even realize whether I'm breathing out or breathing in. As I'm saying breathing out, I'm actually breathing in. Okay. I'm so outside of the center of myself initially. And all the things that you and I are discussing are about mindfulness. When Laurie Sanders and Camber Hill are mindful, we are fabulous. We are able. And when you are able and you are feeling right and you have nutrition and you're practicing at being still for 20 minutes, 4 times a week, which can be a lot. If you can't bite it off, Laurie, if your listeners don't feel that's probable, the kids are waking up in the morning, there is no time, give it 10. Take it to 5 if you have to start practicing working up to something. In meditation, you will begin to be disciplined in getting the mind still by watching breath. Take time and just imagine white energy, maybe moving from the top of your head, clean white energy, and moving through the body to the bottom of your feet, and allow each state, going from your forehead to your eyes, to your throat, to your chest, to your abdomen, to your knees, and to your toes. Take your time and it's about taking time to breathe. Meditation, there's plenty of stuff out there that your listeners can get a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
At the local bookstore. Get a CD. Find guided meditation. Meditation, along with nutrition, will institute kindness and bright-eyed, cheery thoughts, and that will begin to reinvent the person that you are. All your childhood stuff, you don't have to go back and beg for forgiveness in order to have a brighter tomorrow. Start by being kind and wise to yourself and listen to what is the greatest guidance, which is inner guidance, so that you might make decisions to actually reinvent yourself this year of 2011. That's the second step.
So whatever time you can fit in, is there a better time, or just fit it in, or when you first wake up, or what do you suggest?
Well, a lot of masters believe that you should do it right after you get up, so that, because, of course, all of us have routine. If you're over 11, you have a routine, and I have a routine, and in my routine, I find that it works for me after I've had a couple cups of coffee. I have a little coffee, and then I think meditation for me could be at 11 in the afternoon if I'm, in a position to sit, and I do mean sit. I don't recommend laying down. I really think that that's not a good way to go. A good way to go is to sit in a chair or on the floor. And I love beginning by using a mantra, which is just a noise. It's very common here in the West to use
Right.
That's very common. You see the OM symbol all over the place. That is one of the most ancient sounds. And by doing it while you're breathing, it allows the mind to settle. And if your mind begins to think, Laurie, all you do is say, thinking, and bring back to center.
Okay.
Because we're getting kind in these moments. We're getting kind to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that you should sit in the same spot. I believe that you should do it at the same time. Find your time. You have a natural clock inside of you. I do believe it's better to do it before you get into activity with other people, because then you're setting the tone for the day by virtue of your meditation.
Okay.
So the earlier you can get it done, the better. I think it's a good idea. I make it kind of ceremonial. A lot of times I'll light incense, and I have a Tibetan bell, and I gong it 3 gentle times, and it sends a message. I can feel a gong into my bones, even though it's a small little bell. You can get these at a lot of different shops. You can create your own ceremony. And in my home now in 2011, I have a meditation room, or my yoga room. And that space is really clear of objects. It's my sacred space. It's where the greatness of the day spending here with you began.
Okay.
So all great things begin in your meditation space. So if it's the same space at the same time, and you're using some kind of a ceremony, you can get this thing going. And beads are something that a lot of meditators use, so that your right fingers are actually moving through. Each breath is a bead. And on a mala, Laurie, it's 108 beads. That's one of the most incredible numbers in the history of spirituality, 108. For example, when the Christians were going through India and they got aware of the malas, they took it and created the rosary for like the Catholics.
Right.
The rosary in Catholicism, for example, is 54 beads. It's 2 malas. It's a mala times 2. So I like when I have a good amount of time, and Laurie, I don't spend 35 minutes, which takes about 108 breaths to get through for me. In my 25 years of practicing meditation, if I'm in a jackrabbit hurry, I'll at least sit down. If I'm really in a hurry, I'll sit down for 10 and just set the timer and give me 10. And then if I'm not in a jackrabbit hurry, but I have a little bit more time, but not too much, I'll do 20. But when I have the day to create and do as I see fit, I do it for the full 108. Each breath is a bead. So when I'm done at the end of my beads, and I can fill it with the little end of the mala.
Okay.
So, or you can use whatever you like.
So number 2 on the list of reinventing yourself is meditation.
Correct.